Hello everybody, PsyStarcraft here, and we have a Team Vile mirror match, teammate match dealio going on here today. The map is... oh god, what map is it? I don't even give a shit. It's a map that's a map, and my opponent is going to be vileSpanishiwa, the ever-popular and awesome and cute vileSpanishiwa. Him and I are good E-buddies. Hopefully we can make that into good IRL buddies somewhere down the line, and, you know. Anyway, I'm spawning in the bottom right as the blue Zerg, Spanishiwa in the top right as the red Zerg, and whenever you play against your team on ladder, this was played on ladder, it's always kind of bittersweet. I mean, it's fun playing against your teammate, but obviously someone has to lose unless it's a ZVZ stalemate, which I don't think I have ever seen happen in any single match ever. It would be very difficult for it to happen. Like, the last unit would have to kill another unit while getting killed at the same time, so like two roaches shooting acid at each other, and then no one has any money left to build anything. And yeah, that'd be so hard. Can you imagine? That'd be so difficult. But you know, Spanish and I are at the level of badassery that we're not going to be bitter or salty about one of us losing to the other. Obviously that's going to happen this game, but you know, we are good enough online friends that it's not a big deal. I mean, obviously, you want to win no matter what. I'm not going to be like, oh, Spanish, you're better than me. Take this win because it'll help your ladder stats or something like that. That's not going to happen. So, yep. vileSpanishiwa versus vileSpanishiwa should be pretty good. Anyway, I'll stop my talking there. It looks like Spanish is going for a 16 hatch while I'm going for a 15 hatch. And that's probably a little bit smarter of him because he'll have a higher economy. And he knows I'm going the 15 hatch, or a hatch first at least, because his overlord has scouted the close positions, close air positions. And in close air positions, it's often a economic chicken game. Who can get the hatchery latest while getting more drones? Who can get the spawning pool the latest while getting more drones? And that kind of thing. And we're going to see two different opening strategies. And I leave it to you guys to kind of think or guess which one is going to be better. Now you can see we're both getting our spawning pools at about the same time. Harvester counts are the same, so no real differences here. His drone is slightly ahead just because he went 16 hatch instead of 15 hatch. It's not going to make a huge difference. Now you can see he's putting his spawning pool on the outskirts of his creep. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is. Possibly because it's very easy to defend a spawning pool in this location against mutas, as opposed to like putting it back here, or even like towards the bottom of it. At least right here it's connected. It's very close to his natural and his expansion, so if mutas do fly around here, it'll be difficult for me to pick off a spawning pool. I mean, it's rare for that kind of situation to even occur, but you know, it's helpful, so do not blame him for doing that. My geyser is up. Both guys are completing at about the same time. And you got to keep an eye on the overlords, or the queens. Looks like he is pulling his overlord back a little bit late. That possibly could get picked off. We'll have to see in a second here. Meanwhile, I pull off my overlords, and I want to place an overlord here and an overlord right here to see every single unit that escapes from Spanishiwa. He's going to be bringing his overlord down, possibly for some scouting later on. I'm kind of surprised he's not putting it over here, but he might want to do some scouting, make an overseer or something like that. Now, already we're seeing something a little bit different. I am getting a spine and getting 4 lings as opposed to 2 lings, and a roach warren, whereas Spanishiwa is just droning up, getting 2 more lings, and it hasn't really revealed any sort of plan right now. And I want to keep an eye on this build order up here because that's the most important thing in a ZVZ. A lot of it is rock, paper, scissors. He sees the spines, he sees a couple drones with the expansion. Did he scout the roach warren? Yes, he did scout the roach warren. I assume he sees it's a roach warren. He might not have had time to click it, but we'll see how he responds to that. Speed is going up for Spanish. Overlord's just kind of meeting down there, and some lings are able to get by. A couple drones, a bit exposed. Only 2 lings for Spanish. I thought he had 4. He lost 2 initially scouting, and I'm going to try to pick off 1 drone. I do get 1 drone, only losing 2 lings, so that's a nice little trade. I want to get up here and get some scouting info, and I do get into the main. I see that he's starting that Zergling speed, so I have to be aware of that. That's not going to be a problem with my roaches. And also, I am able to scoot around. And am I going to spot anything else? Looks like he has a Baneling Nest starting here. Am I going to spot that? Yes, I do see the Baneling Nest. So he's got Zergling Baneling going on. He might actually cancel it if he knows that I got roaches. Maybe he's just trying to fool me. Hard to say. He is up by 3 on Harvesters. And this is for a couple of reasons. This is the case. 1, I got that spine. 2, I think I made 4. I think we both made 4 lings, so that's not going to matter. But another reason is I'm getting 6 roaches compared to just 14 lings. And the reason I'm getting so many roaches is because I saw this Baneling Nest. It kind of scared me. I wanted to get a lot more roaches than I normally do. I normally get 5. I've actually got 6, so just one more roach. And if we check out the economy, it's 36 to 34. So I have taken a slight lead, but you've got to remember the roaches that I just invested in are less of a larva investment, but more of a resource investment, especially in the gas department, where SC's is going to have nice map control with his zerglings, and really some harassment potential as well. I've got 3 roaches blocking the ramp, and I've got a spine and 3 roaches in the expansion, so he's not going to be able to get anything done with these roaches, and this is going to be his signal to just drone up, and that's exactly what both of us are doing right now. You can see I'm taking my 3 gas, I've got like 8 drones on the way, and still, quiet cat, making a couple more roaches, because I'm scared. To be honest, I kind of forget SC's ZVZ style, so I got a few more roaches than I needed to, and every single roach I get cuts into that mute account, which is what I want to eventually be at. SC's at his lair already, my lair about to complete here, and I'm up by 2 on harvesters. So far this roach opening is doing well, except one key thing. It's going to be so hard to take my 3rd with these roaches, and actually I need to get my spire down. 2 more roaches coming out, and this is going to delay my spire even more. So despite being ahead a little bit on drones, looks like we have evened it up. He's got a couple more on the way. Despite being ahead on drones right now, first off, I can't take my 3rd. I can't really move out against this number of lings with the roaches. I don't want them to run by, so I'm going to leave these guys here. 2, did I already say I can't expand? I don't know. He has map control. I do have nice overlord spotting. You can see here on the minimap. But his spire's a little bit faster. And if we check out the gas count, he's actually 200 ahead. And he's going to make a lot of spines just because he's got the money for it. And he doesn't want to lose to any kind of roach timing that might happen in the next couple of minutes. Looks like he is able to pick up the drone that wanted to take the 3rd. He's taking his 3rd in the meantime. And the spires, as they finish, he'll have 7 mutas, whereas, well, I'll have to see what I'll have. But see the excess minerals? That's because I didn't get to build the spines. And that's because I haven't taken my 3rd base. So, first off, made too many roaches. 9 roaches as opposed to like 4 or 5, which is what I normally get. Forced to take a macro hatch just because I need to spend my minerals. My spire's a little bit slower because I got all of these roaches. Meanwhile, while he only got like 1 baneling that consumed his gas. And looks like I will be 1 muta short compared to him. Maybe even more than that. Now taking my 3rd, and again, the map control of these links able to force the cancellation. No, doesn't even cancel it. I had the hatchery clicked. I just tried to cancel a little bit too late. I tried to be cute and stall for a little bit longer. Now I am scouting the mutas out, and 7 or 6 mutas and an armor coming out for me, while he's got, 8 mutas and an armor coming. He knows I'm going mutas. He realizes I'm not going to be aggressive with the roaches, and they're most likely just to stall for mutas. If I was going to be aggressive with the roaches, it would have happened a long time ago, so he intelligently assumed that I was going to go mutas, and I'm really just trying to take this 3rd base. The harvester count are a bit lopsided. I'm at 64 to 55, but I can't take advantage of that 55 on 2 bases, or 64 on 2 bases. It's just not going to happen. Meanwhile, SC's with his 3rd, he should have prepared those gases ahead of time, but his attention was elsewhere. Now my mutas are out, but if we look at the muta count, it's only 8 to 11, so he's got me beat by 3 just from 2 basing a little bit more effectively than me. His lair was sooner, his gases were probably sooner as well, and now here come in the lings to try to take down these roaches. Not going to be enough though. Muta count now 8 to 11. He's got 11 mutas, and here they come. Are we going to clash in the middle? Looks like we are. I need to get out of there. It looks like I am outnumbered. Spanish pulling away. It's kind of hard to see exactly how many mutas are in a clump. So he actually pulled away when he shouldn't have and lost a muta for nothing, for just a little bit of damage to my mutas. Now doing some harassment on my roaches, possibly sending in the lings after he takes out these roaches to kill the 3rd base. And this is exactly what I mean, man. Lings are so fast, they complement mutas a lot better than roaches do. But the muta counts here in this little battle are 12 to 9. I am able to take out 2, so I'm evening out the mutas. But as these gases are mined more and more, he's gonna, be able to even the gap, bridge the gap. 1 more muta going down, maybe another one, not quite, but some nice damage going down. Looks like both of our +1 upgrades have finished. Neither of us have started any additional upgrade. And here come the lings once more. Are they going to be able to defeat the hatchery? Is it going to go down? No, not quite, but he's almost inevitably going to be able to finish off that hatchery with another ling skirmish. And in he comes to the main. And my mutas were out of position. He's just catching me off guard right here. Harvester count now looking at 69 to 69, dead even. Muta count is 16 to 16, dead even there. We've got an extremely close game. The problem is he is mining gas off his 3rd for a long time while I'm just now starting. And you can see even SC's floats a lot of minerals in ZVZ. So now 78 harvesters for me. 69 harvesters for him. 19 mutas apiece. We've got +1 attack coming for both of us. Mine is slightly ahead. He's got 3 lings trying to finish us off, and I've got a lot of mutas floating around in the middle of the map. Need to kill that Zergling, maybe kill this Overlord, and Spanish now taking a 4th base with his excess minerals. So this game is like dead even right now. Look at the counts there. I've got a couple more roaches. He's got some more Zerglings, but now I actually have more queens. He's sending in some lings to try to finish off my 3rd base. I'm going to do some harassment on his 3rd base meanwhile, and a lot of mutas. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of queens. I did not see that at all. That's one way to spend your minerals, man. Use those queens for transfusing mutas when they're out of battle. He's got 20 mutas. I've only got, 14 mutas. Looks like a lot of mine might be at home, a couple at home, but he sniped a couple of mutas. Down goes that extra base. I was actually planting down an additional hatchery just so I could mine gas because I knew that hatchery would die. And now I'm turning around and fighting severely outnumbered. Huge. No, that was not a good idea at all. My logic when I did this was, I know he's going to beat me in the muta game. Let me try to pick off as many mutas as I can. But that was so bad. I should have just tried to... Oh, there's all my mutas. There's where all my mutas went. If I had those in the main fight, I would have been a lot better off. But his 3rd base was just up too long, and the harassment from the lings was just too much. He was able to out-muta me. And if I had just ran away there, I could have maybe stalled a little bit. See, I still had a lot more mutas on the way, so... perhaps just kind of throwing away the game needlessly right there. Yes, my muta count was going to be slightly lower, but it doesn't mean I was out of the game. He was taking an additional base, but obviously Spanish a much better player than I am, and he's just going to walk right over me now, killing a lot of overlords, killing a couple rallying mutas. He's got his +1/+1. He's just continuing to make mutas, his 4th base on the way. Looks like he was able to force the cancellation of the hatchery that was going down as well, and just plowing through every single unit I have. I kept up in the harvest count, up 72 to 67. I was able to defend any kind of early aggression, which he didn't really show. But as you can see, taking the 3rd base with the help of those fast lings was just a little bit too much. I need to fine-tune my Zerg versus Zerg play, especially when it's muta on muta. I feel like we're pretty even throughout the game. Partially, making 11 overlords is pretty damn good, I gotta say. The reason I was able to say somewhat even is because he did throw a couple of mutas away early, but better opening from SC2 than me, and I hope you guys learned a little bit about ZVZ this game and the importance of map control, because those lings really helped him out. And you notice we both went for the +1 armor, which is always good against other mutas versus mutas, and he spent his excess minerals with queens. Another great move, connecting his bases with overlords, so at least he can get to the harassed bases a little bit faster and transfuse any mutas on the way. And that's it. vileSpanishiwa versus vilePsY. SpanishiWa is victorious. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always...